The Epstein Files fiasco has been disappointing, to say the least.
Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. Must have probably deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that.
And it's no exaggeration to say it has left quite a few alliances a bit fractured within the conservative movement.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Refreshingly, it is one of those issues where there's Trump supporters and also those who do not support Donald Trump are actually united and are calling out these shenanigans.
Is the government hiding Epstein's alleged client list? Get this, 69% of Americans agree that the federal government is in fact hiding Epstein's alleged client list versus just 6% who say that they are not. And get this, a majority of Republicans and Democrats do in fact agree on this issue.
But the politicians involved are making what some might consider excuses, citing issues such as victim protection and the like.
Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day.
But there are still Republicans fighting for the release of the Epstein client list, such as Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You know, I think it's just a red line that it crosses for many people.
A lot of people have been quick to conclude that Trump is trying to hide his own crimes, which is a bit confusing because evidently Donald Trump was in favor of releasing the files even before he became the president. And I speak of times even before his 2016 win.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
And most people thought he would be losing those elections. So why would he incriminate himself when the odds were stacked against him? Some have observed that by holding on to the Epstein files, Trump sort of controls the media narrative. He sort of dangled a carrot for the mainstream media, and they, like many a times before, are happy to oblige, reducing the pressure of scrutiny against any other decisions you might be making. Some people are saying that Trump ain't releasing the files because he's being blackmailed by Bibi. But the same folks also say that Bibi has been to the island numerous times. Surely if the latter is true, then it is Trump that's controlling Bibi and not the other way around. Which of course begs the question, what other international politicians might have visited the island? On a related note, I was watching a Tim Pool clip recently where he mentioned in passing that Trump might be using the Epstein files for some sort of leverage. He also suggested that this might be a reason why Stephen Colbert's talk show just got abruptly cancelled. Stephen Colbert, of course, is one of the most religiously anti-Trump talk show hosts out there and has been quite the mouthpiece for left-wing propaganda. Now, Trump's hand in cancelling Stephen Colbert could very well have been just a conspiracy theory, but the talk show host's response and demeanor in his last episode suggests otherwise. But the more important question is whether or not the Trump administration is using the Epstein files as leverage against any international political entities. Now, interestingly, even the mainstream media has started to acknowledge this idea that Epstein was actually working for an intelligence agency.
That one of the reasons he was pressured into giving Epstein a sweetheart deal during his first arrest in Florida was because he had been told by unspecified actors that Epstein belonged to intelligence. But that's kind of, what exactly does that mean? Was he an asset? Was he on the payroll? Which intelligence agency? Multiple intelligence agencies?
Right.
Now, like everybody and their grandma on Instagram, the usual conspiracy heads have suggested that Epstein must have been working for Mossad, and some people suggested that this is the case because his name was Epstein.
Stop it.
Get some help.
That's like saying somebody named Ahmed in the CIA must be working for ISIS because his name is Ahmed. It is ironic because one of the most chilling eyewitness accounts of Epstein being a potential intelligence plant is an interview of the respectable Eric Weinstein. Am I supposed to assume that Weinstein is some kind of turncoat? Now, whether or not Mossad has anything to do with this is still to be seen, but isn't it interesting that everybody's blaming Mossad for everything, and somehow everybody has stopped talking about a certain American agency that has a way longer reach around the globe and has been known to be involved in some shady activities? Interesting. Now, even after everything that has happened, polling aggregates suggest Trump's approval rating is still quite steady, as voters do not think the Epstein issue is a pressing matter. We'll see how this goes. Now, the Department of Justice seems to be preparing to have an interview with Ghislaine Maxwell. We will see how that goes, and Trump doesn't quite seem bothered about it.
Mr. President, do you support the Justice Department seeking a new interview with Ghislaine Maxwell, and did you urge the Attorney General to seek one?
I don't know anything about it. They're going to what? Meet her?
Your Deputy Attorney General has reached out to Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney asking for a new interview.
Yeah, I don't know about it, but I think it's something that sounds appropriate to do, yeah.
On a personal note, I am of course disappointed, but I am yet to see if this is one of the situations where I disagree with Trump's actions, but eventually it leads to some kind of positive outcome, or Trump really was playing some kind of long game to hide this information, though that does seem quite a convoluted strategy. Or has the deep state dug its claws deep into Trump's skin? Or is this the age-old tale of an idealist who tried to clean the swamp but got muddy himself?
No one stays good in this world.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Tenable Gaming. It seems most of our viewers haven't subscribed. It'll help us out quite a bit with planning the content and trajectory of the channel. Videos such as this do take a long time for me to put together, so I would really appreciate some support on buymeacoffee.com/Tenable. You can literally support me for just $1, and if I can get more support on that, then I can spend more time making more interesting videos such as this one. But thanks for watching, God bless you, and remember, Christ is King.